This is Severe Weather Awareness Week in Pennsylvania. Already this year, our TV stations have gone live on the air, covering 3 separate tornado warnings.
Tonight, we show you how meteorologists track threatening storms across both Ohio and Pennsylvania. We show you how tornadoes are not our biggest threat. Plus, we find the truth behind some weather myths.
When severe weather threatens, Storm Team 27 and 33 Pinpoint Weather team up to keep your family safe. Tonight, a special presentation to help you be severe weather ready.
And good evening. I'm Paul Wetzel, Chief Meteorologist for WKBN 27.
And I'm Ryan Halicki, meteorologist for 33 WYTV Pinpoint Weather. Our job is to keep a constant eye on weather in and around the valley.
We do that with a variety of tools, but none more powerful than Doppler radar. Here's a live look at Doppler radar right now. Fortunately, no severe weather to tell you about this evening. All is clear currently, but when radar shows a threat to the valley, WKBN and WYTV do what we're doing right now.
We combine resources to bring you the fastest, most accurate information on severe weather. You can take advantage of that by downloading the Storm Team 27 app. It's for iPhone and Android. Enable the alerts, and we tell you when storms bring lightning, heavy rain, even tornadoes or floods near you wherever you go. We will also stream live online during most severe weather. Our team of meteorologists use Doppler radar, all of our tools to help keep you safe. And those tools include our live drive action cams. We have a fleet of vehicles here equipped to broadcast live as we get near storm cells. We're showing you the actual video of severe weather threats as the vehicles approach those storms.
Now, the National Weather Service puts out watches and warnings for all types of severe weather. Here in the valley, we see notices ranging from heat and wind advisories to tornado watches and warnings. These notices have different meanings. When a watch is issued, all of the ingredients are there, but the weather isn't dangerous yet. But there is a good chance it could become severe. When a warning is issued, the ingredients have come together and severe weather is happening. At that time, you should have a plan in place and take action. All right, when warnings are issued, we are always here tracking the storms, preparing you before, during, and after the alert.
So how are those warnings issued? I recently had the chance to visit the National Weather Service office in Pittsburgh. This is a story you'll only see here. Warning coordination meteorologist Fred McMullen. He walks us through the warning process. Here's a look.
Yeah, so this is our main software that we use to look at radar data, issue our forecast, issue our warnings. So here's our storm in question. So to replay kind of how we issue a tornado warning, we drag this little feature to the storm, and then what we do is we go back a few steps because we want to make sure that we get the path of the storm correct. So if I just, if I go back a few volume scans to right here to make sure, okay, I got this, the circle kind of where I think the rotation is. And then what I can do is I can change the track of my storm. And ideally, so this is the box that it gives us. We shrink the box, and then using the line here, as supercell storms, and supercells are the storms that produce tornadoes, typically move just a little bit right off the center. We would shrink the box down here and drag out a little bit bigger on the center part to allow it to move here. So essentially, everywhere in this hatched area, there'd be a tornado warning. It would sound off weather radios. It would turn on the wireless emergency alerts for people's phones. And then when we go through here, we can say, okay, well, is this a land spout or a very weak tornado? Is this a May 31st, 1985 tornado? And then from there, is this Doppler radar indicated? Did we get this reported by the law enforcement? How did this information come to us? So we choose that. Are there any hail? Is there any hail with this? Is there 2-inch hail? Okay, well, we pick the size of hail. Our radar can estimate hail size. We get reports from spotters. How big is the hail? Then we scroll down even more. Then we have a pathcast where you give a list of cities that are affected by the warning. And then lastly, the information about safety rules, what to do. Once we have all of our selections of what we like, we hit create text. We come over here and it tells us, okay, well, this is where we quality control it. There's the counties that's listed for the tornado warning. It's valid until the such and such time. At the current time, this gives you the current location of the storm. So now we simplified our warnings to make it a little bit easier. The hazard, we have tornado and hail up to 2 inches in diameter. The source, radar indicated. Impact. If this were to be a May 31st, 85, it would talk about catastrophic damage to single-family residents, homes being destroyed. So this can kind of give you an idea, are we dealing with a violent tornado like we saw in 85? Or are we dealing with a weak tornado like we saw in the early part of 2019 in January?
It was really cool to get to go down there and see that firsthand, how they issue that. Reading the text of those warnings will explain why they've issued it, what type of impacts can be expected, and what has been detected, whether it be by radar or reported by an observer. Now, we'll scroll through those text warnings on your TV screen and broadcast live on air and online as soon as possible. The big tornado here in the valley was the monster of 1985.
I went through almost 70 years of records and learned when a twister is most likely here in the area when Severe Weather Ready continues.
Did you know Community Skilled Healthcare Center in Warren has private rooms for those needing time to recover from an illness, injury, or surgery? To find out all that Community Skilled Healthcare Center has to offer, call or visit online to schedule a tour today.
Here on First News, we have one mission, covering news where you live first.
We're continuing that commitment. First News on Fox, Morning Edition.
The Valley's first and only live local newscast at 7 and 8 a.m.
Covering news as it happens while you're headed to work or school.
2 suspects are in custody after leading Youngstown police
And tracking the valley's ever-changing weather live.
I am completely surrounded by water.
Watch First News on Fox Morning Edition weekdays 7 to 9 a.m.
News happens outside of this building. It happens on our streets, at our schools, and in our neighborhoods.
That's why anchors at Channel 27 get out from behind the desk. We're there when news impacts you. Telling your stories, answering your questions, a different perspective to local news every day.
Major local news that matters to you.
Watch weeknights starting at 5 on WKBN 27 First News.
Do you like them saucy, spicy, or mild? Who serves the best wings in our area? My Valley Dining wants to know. Pick your favorite place right now. Go to myvalleydining.com and vote. We'll pick a winner for each county. Check out the hundreds of great places to eat wings across the valley. Make sure your favorite is #1. Go to myvalleydining.com and vote today.
Elaine Bennett! You don't mind stomping on a few throats.
Oh, come on. Die! Shut up. Your fault! Get out! Get out! But I'm not a terrible person.
No! Seinfeld, weeknights at 11 on Fox Youngstown. You're watching a special presentation from Storm Team 27 and 33 Pinpoint Weather. Severe Weather Ready.
We are drifting into the tornado season here in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania.
I looked back and pulled old records to try and find out how many tornadoes have touched down in our region and the 1 month they're most likely to hit us. Tornadoes happen every year in Ohio and Pennsylvania. In fact, Ohio averages 19 and Pennsylvania averaging 16. The tornadic threat typically increases through late spring and into the summer. Our peak month is July with 20 recorded since 1950. June is second and August comes in third. Powerful storm systems develop through the late spring and into the summer. The change in seasons help fuel the ingredients needed to create a tornado. Big storm systems pump up warm, humid air from the south. This juicy air is a fuel storms need to become explosive. Colder air is pulled in from the northwest. This colder air keeps the air rising through the atmosphere to build the taller storms. This is just one of the ingredients needed for tornadoes. This temperature battle also creates stronger storm systems that can produce fast wind at different levels and directions in the atmosphere. The wind is needed to produce strong, spinning storms that can create tornadoes. These ingredients fade through other seasons of the year. However, that does not mean tornadoes can't form in the fall or winter. We have had a tornado every month of the year, dating back to 1950, except for the month of December. Although it is rare in winter, it has happened. You may recall this video of our first recorded January tornado this year. Tornadoes in our region since 1950 total up to 77. Trumbull County has experienced 16. Mahoning County has a total of 16. Columbiana County, 17. Mercer County has been hit with the highest number of tornadoes locally with 18. And Lawrence County has a total of 10. Our tornadoes are typically weak. The majority have been EF or F zeros. We have 30 recorded. There have been 23 EF or F1s, 16 EF or F2s, and only 5 EF or F3s. There was only 1 F4 and 1 F5. The May 31st, 1985 tornado outbreak by far has been the worst. It was the only time we had an F5 registered here in our region. That tornado ripped through southern Trumbull and Mercer counties. That outbreak also produced an F4 in northern Mercer County, an F3 in northwest Trumbull County, and an F2 in northern and northeastern Columbiana County. There have been a few notable F3s too. One sliced through central Columbiana County in 1978 near Winona. Another tracked from Girard to the north side of Youngstown in 1956. In 2002, a rare November tornado produced F3 damage in Clark, Pennsylvania, in Mercer County. We are approaching 34 years since we have experienced a large tornado. It's only a matter of time before another large tornado hits the area. Keep your eyes and ears open through the seasons as conditions become likely for stronger and rotating storms. Our understanding of thunderstorm development has advanced tremendously. Modern tools give longer lead times to any type of warning. You can be assured that the next time there is an outbreak like 1985, we will be ready to track these storms down to your street and neighborhood. That devastating, massive 1985 tornado is a memory those who lived through it will never forget.
Next, a survivor story. 2 people in Niles relive that day.
Veterans. The Mahoning County Veteran Service Commission is here to help you, whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago. If you were honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits. Go to mcveterans.org to see all the benefits and services offered. The Mahoning County Veteran Service Commission, serving those who have served.
This year,
You are the vibe.
between outrage and heartbreak,
Oh my God. People make mistakes.
between lies and the truth,
I'm faithful to you.
You could find another person.
between conflict and compassion,
Don't worry about it. This was not meant for you.
you'll find Maury in the middle.
She needs you in her life right now.
The season of Maury at the center of it all.
Weekdays at 3 on Fox Youngstown.
Come to the 20th Annual Beatitude House Wine Taste and Auction Friday, May 3rd at the Embassy.
Enjoy an evening of fine wine from Superior, Tri-County, and Heidelberg distributors. Great food and outstanding auctions.
It all benefits the Beatitude House, providing support services through housing, education, and immigrant outreach.
Call now for tickets or visit beatitudehouse.com. Sponsored by Astro Shapes and Moransky Companies.
Sponsored by Eastern Gateway Community College.
There are many people around who know what it's like to live through the worst of all storms.
It'll be 34 years next month that the area's largest and deadliest tornado cut a path from Newton Falls to Hermitage. First News anchor Stan Boney talked with two people who lived through it.
Most everyone who lived in Niles when the tornado hit on May 31st, 1985 has a story to tell.
Most everybody, yeah. If you were around here, yeah.
Niles policeman Jim Valleco was 15, playing baseball at Wilder Field when the EF5 tornado hit. He was on second base when the guy at the plate dropped his bat and ran.
I looked up and I saw it, and like I said, it felt like it was right on top of us. It was probably only about maybe quarter to a half a mile away. Okay. And it was, you could see it moving across the sky.
You could see debris in it. I knew it was a tornado.
Niles City Councilman Barry Profado remembers people wondering about their families.
I was okay because my wife and my daughter, we were all together. But there were people that, God forbid, you know, they're concerned for, well, their kids.
A convenient mart on Route 46 was destroyed, as were houses in the Shadow Ridge development. The Niles Park Plaza on Route 422 was also leveled. 9 people died that day in Niles. Jim Valleco remembers the hardest part of the day was getting home.
We tried to go down North Road, and there was a house sitting on the roadway, and nobody could come or go, so we had to walk, park and walk to get back home.
What happened that day affected Valleco for years.
I used to have nightmares for a long time after that, because after you saw what it actually did, it was real scary.
Today in Niles, there are no signs of the tornado. There was a plaque at the bottom of the flagpole at the plaza, but now even the plaque and the flagpole are gone.
I think it makes us all aware, because this is not Kansas. This isn't Wizard of Oz. I mean, that's the reality.
In Niles, Stan Boney, WKBN 27 First News.
Tornadoes definitely among the most frightening image of severe weather for many people.
But they aren't the greatest threat. What is next?
What makes Peter Griffin so cool? Is it the glasses? Topher! The shoes.
I shouldn't have worn high heels.
Oh, stop it. You look great. Gotta be the pants.
Peter, you know you're wearing... I know. I think there was a mix-up.
Oh, thank you, Jazzercise. This is actually kind of funny.
End of the show. Banana Family Guy.
Family Guy. Viewer discretion advised.
Weekdays at 4 on Fox Youngstown.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Silverado. It's the official truck of calloused hands and elbow grease. The official truck of getting to work and getting to work. It's the official truck of homecoming and coming home. The all-new Chevy Silverado.
Qualified lessees can get this all-new Silverado Custom for around $319 a month. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Building homes, building community, building hope. Join Habitat for Humanity of Mahoning Valley Thursday, May 9th at the Vineyards in Pine Lake for their Building Hope fundraiser. It's a night of food and entertainment, celebrating 30 years of Habitat's work in the valley. Plus, they'll be raffling off a He Shed, She Shed. Get your event and raffle tickets now. Go to HabitatMahoning.org. Thursday, May 9th. Make a difference with Habitat and impact families here in our valley.
I do love taking care of you. I live it too, Mom. Probably should have done it when you were a kid.
That'd have been nice.
Get out. You're walking home.
The house is right there.
Okay, stay in. I'm going to drive you further away.
Would you like to know the sex?
I think it's pretty obvious. It's a boy, and he's going to be very popular with the ladies.
Mom, weekdays at 5:30 on Fox Youngstown. You're watching a special presentation from Storm Team 27 and 33 Pinpoint Weather. Severe weather ready.
Severe weather damage cost $70 million in Ohio in 2017.
The threat doesn't just lie to your belongings. Severe weather also threatens life and livelihood. Most weather fatalities are caused by flooding, then high winds or tornadoes. Since 2014, there have been 10 hazardous weather-related deaths in Ohio. 5 of those were flood-related. While relatively low, the Red Cross, which assists with disaster relief, says some of those are preventable.
I think it just goes back to a lot of times you hear, I never thought it would happen to me. So that's probably, in my opinion, the biggest reason people don't prepare and don't act when the alerts come out.
And one of the biggest concerns for the Red Cross is getting people out of flood waters. Those waters likely have contaminants in them too.
During severe weather season here in the Valley, we've seen tornadoes, damaging wind events, and flooding.
Storm Team 27 meteorologist Alex George joins us to explain why floods are one of the greatest threats.
Flash flooding is the #1 killer.
Fred McMullen with the National Weather Service says most people think that tornadoes are the biggest threat, but it's actually flash flooding.
Tornadoes impact a very small area, usually for the weak tornadoes that we see around this region, compared to a flood which can affect streets, neighborhoods.
Flash flooding can be caused by a number of reasons, but is most often due to extremely heavy rain from thunderstorms. In our area, flash flooding is most common in June, July, and August.
But we have situations where the weather pattern lines up when we have lots of moisture, which helps produce higher rain rates, and we can have a wind speed event where the winds don't produce good storm motion, so the storms don't move.
Which is the perfect recipe for flash flooding. Flash flooding can also occur for other reasons, including excessive runoff from melting snow, ice jams, or dam and levee breaks. If you encounter a flash flooding situation, no matter the reason, there are 4 words to remember.
Turn around, don't drown.
It only takes 6 inches of fast-moving floodwater to knock over an adult, and it only takes 2 feet of rushing water to carry away most vehicles, including pickups and SUVs.
60% of all flood-related fatalities could have been prevented if people made the smart choice and not driven through high water.
Alex George, WKBN 27 First News.
What kind of a car or truck can make it through a flood? If the sky looks like our live sky cam right now, could you be hit by lightning?
The truth behind weather myths next on Severe Weather Ready.
I'm Susan Nimoy. I was married to Leonard Nimoy. He had chronic breathing difficulties for as long as I knew him. He was afraid he'd die of lung cancer. He never thought it would be COPD. You always think you have more time than you do, and you really don't.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Your mornings are busy, rushing the kids to school, getting to work on time. WKBN 27 First News This Morning knows you don't have time to waste. We bring you in-depth major local news, the most accurate weather every 10 minutes. You'll never wait more than 10 minutes for the forecast. No filler, no fluff. Just the news and information you deserve to start your day. WKBN 27 First News This Morning, starting at 5 a.m.
I do this to defend the innocent. The wheels of justice are moving right now, and they're gonna run right over you. The helpless. I'm scared. This is a very brave thing that you're doing. I've been doing this my whole life. You're doing it because I'm dead, and I'll never quit. Do something!
Steve Wilkos, weekdays at 1 on Fox Youngstown. Find your next career with Jobs Now.
We have to make sure we have the people there to build the buildings, to create that industry.
A partnership with WKBN 27 and the Regional Chamber.
Due to you and your network, I was able to find a good position.
Every Tuesday at 5, watch First News anchor Dave Sess highlight local jobs, or check them out at WKBN.com. Just click on Jobs Now under News, bringing you new opportunities in our valley. Jobs Now. You're watching a special presentation from Storm Team 27 and 33 Pinpoint Weather. Severe Weather Ready.
Knowing the difference between myths about storms and facts can be life-saving.
We want to take a moment to debunk some weather misconceptions.
Myth. My large truck, car, or SUV will be fine driving through the floodwaters because it's a heavy vehicle. This can't be emphasized enough. Never drive through flooded roads. 2 feet of water is capable of floating most vehicles, and yes, that includes SUVs and pickup trucks. Myth. I'm inside my house, so I don't need to worry about the lightning. Though it is safer to be inside when storms approach, there are still some things to keep in mind. Electricity from a lightning strike can travel through plumbing or electrical wires, so when it storms, you should avoid using the shower or the bathtub, and also avoid using electronics that are plugged into an electrical outlet. You should also avoid doors and windows, as metal frames in these objects are conductors of electricity. Myth. I can hear the thunder, but it's not raining yet at my location, so I am safe from lightning. This is not true. If you hear thunder, you should be moving to a safer shelter, preferably indoors. If you can hear the thunder, you are close enough to the storm that lightning poses a hazard. Although infrequent, lightning strikes have been known to occur as far as 25 miles away from a thunderstorm. These usually originate from high up in the storm clouds and are known as strikes from the blue because blue skies are often visible when it occurs. If you hear thunder, move inside. Myth. Heat lightning is different from lightning in a thunderstorm. This is also false. Heat lightning is lightning. The only difference is you are viewing it from a distance, which is why you can't hear the thunder. If you see lightning and don't hear the thunder, the storm is likely far away, but it could be a sign that storms are headed in your direction.
You can learn more weather myths online at WYTV.com and WKBN.com. Here at WKBN and WYTV, we are committed to keeping you safe.
And of course, we live stream during any severe thunderstorm warning. As we always have, we alert you to any dangerous weather approaching your neighborhood. You can help us by safely taking pictures of storms and storm damage.
Remember, don't put yourself in danger doing this, though. You got to watch for lightning. If you hear thunder, you shouldn't be out there. Watch for flash flooding and strong winds. But if you can safely take pictures, we like to share them with our viewers on TV, and it lets us see what's happening beneath those storms. To send them in, just go to WKBN.com or WYTV.com. You click on Report It. They come right to us.
Thank you for spending the evening with us to get severe weather ready.
You can watch many more stories about severe weather and read much more information on our mobile apps for WKBN and WYTV.